every religion, every organized religion, there is a super intelligent agent. We talk about one God creating everything out of nothing.
So not every religion, some are more like philosophical things talking about nature as a force and consciousness as a unifying one, not so much as an agent who's an engineer and scientist. That's more Abrahamic religions typically. But I think it's just a language difference. So you can map all the concepts in modern AI research onto theological concepts, and it works pretty well. Same problems, same challenges. We can learn a lot from their failures.
yeah, it makes sense. Essentially, those organized religions, Abrahamic religions, they all talk about like one so they might be the same thing, pointing to the same thing, but the traditions are different and they are developed locally.
Of
That's
course, even within each one, I mean, there is hundreds of sub-branches of Christianity, different variations on Islam. It's obvious that you're going to have local culture added to it. But again, what's interesting to me is the story is God creates biological robots and fails to control them. And now he has to either wipe them out and start over or modify them. He tries giving them rules to follow, and none of that works.
and that God can be the one that created the simulation,
That's the description, right? The one who controls it all.
one who controls it all, and you are just NPCs that you need to pray and don't do bad things.
Free will. We are main characters in the game.
Yeah. Do you think free will exists?
Do we have a free will? So there is interesting research in cellular automata, which allows you to kind of define what free will is. So it's, to me, about unpredictability. If I cannot look at you and your environment and decide exactly what you're going to do, knowing everything about you, all the states of matter, molecules, atoms, then you have some unpredictable free will. But when we look at cellular automata, there are proven results showing that given all the states, I can compute what's going to happen, but I cannot have a shortcut to that decision. So I cannot kind of time travel to the future and see what you're going to do. I have to run your life, your experiences through. And then, yes, your decisions are deterministic in that environment, but they're not predictable to me. So essentially, you have free will in a sense of being unpredictable decision maker.
So if what happens at the end is that all the time we create a higher intelligence and then that intelligence at the end creates a universe, do you think that seems to me like more deterministic, almost inevitable end?
Well, people talk about how universes reproduce through black holes and such, and I'm thinking they reproduce by creating intelligent agents, creating other virtual worlds.
Plato talks about this. Again, I'm going to put the philosophy cap. So a theory of forms, that there is an eternal world out there that we have no access to. There is a perfect cat. What we see today is just a copy of that cat. There's a perfect, table. What we see is a copy of that table. So I'm wondering, maybe he was right. Like it seems to be the similar idea.
Yeah, if you look at object-oriented programming, you have this abstract object class, and from that you create instances. The instances may have local flavors, but the perfection of a circle class cannot be denied.
And then if you scale that object-oriented programming, then you end up with a universe. Yeah. Sometimes I think about these video games. They have always map limits. If you step out of the map, game crashes and you have to start all over or something happens. So what do you think the limit of the map is now in the simulation that we are reliving currently?
There seems to be some interesting side effects when we start looking at super small. So the quantum world gives us some properties which is, at least to us, different than what we experience at large scale of our actual world interactions. So you have simultaneous events, you have communication at large distances, which is instantaneous. You have observer effects where if no one's looking, nothing is rendered. So those things seem like they are the interesting part to pick at to see what is possible. Is there a physics engine which is different from the one generating our experiences and so on?